Hey guys, this is Mariak, streaming Guild Wars 2. I am actually going to be doing a little tutorial, or maybe not a tutorial, but just my thoughts on the warrior and what I think is viable in PvP, what I've come up with. I guess I just want to go through a few things. I'm going to start with my weapon set. I ended up going with Great Sword Rifle. And the reason I'm doing that, well, now remember, this is structured PvP, so it's not real high pop. Probably in World vs. World, I might do the bow instead of the rifle, but in the structured PvP, I'm going the rifle. And really, what the rifle gives you, and you can see these skills, so bleeding shot, aim shot, volley, brutal shot, and rifle burst. So the main thing with this skill, it's volley, and then also the burst skill, kill shot. So I've hit for up to, I think, 8,500 with kill shot, and volley hits really hard. I've hit like 1,500 damage hits like 5 times or whatever. So those are kind of the two bread and butter abilities of the rifle, and so they're really, really good as a second weapon set to the greatsword. And so moving to the greatsword. We've got Greatsword Swing, Basic Swing, 100 Blades, that's my main damage attack. We'll go more into this a little bit later, but it's a really important skill. Whirlwind Attack, not a huge deal, it's got its uses though. Blade Trail is mediocre, it's just a cripple, which is good for chasing, but it's nothing special. And Rush, which I actually like quite a bit. And so why the greatsword is the main weapon for a warrior? There are a couple reasons. The first is mobility. Greatsword's got whirlwind attack and rush. Both of these actually let you get into the fight, get to the target you want to get to, and do some damage, or just chase the target. So there's whirlwind rush, or whirlwind attack, and there is rush. So as you can see, they both move you forward pretty well. So that's the main reason I like sword. And the other reason is the 100 blades. So this actually hits extremely hard if you can get the full combo on the enemy. Two things to think about here. First off, 100 blades, you cannot move. Second off, it's directional, it's only in front of you. So, how do you hit the enemy? Well, you start with, so let me think here. Okay, let's just go through this real quick, what I kind of do, and then we'll go into my skills, my traits, and stuff. And so what you generally like to do, so I've got Bull's Charge, and this knocks down for 2 seconds. So I essentially, Bull's Charge, I'm on top of the target, I go Frenzy, and Blade Rush. And as you can see, I doubled the speed that occurred. I did a ton of damage in the process because my crits hit harder as well. And so the idea behind this is to burst people down. I've literally one-shot squishy heroes, like no joke, with that combo. Generally speaking, I probably take 50% to 70% of the enemy's health with that combo, and usually get a kill. Now, surrounding those skills though, and so we've got Balanced Stance. Now, I've actually debated between Balanced Stance and what's the other one called? Throw Bolas. And I think they're kind of interchangeable. You can always change them out during the PvP match. And Balanced Stance, if you're dealing with a lot of CC, you're getting knocked down, you need to have that. You throw that when you do your 100 blades combo so you don't get stunned, so you don't break it, or knock back or whatever, so you can actually do your combo. So that's good for that. Throw Bolas, it's just one more CC. It also lets you do your combo. 4 second immobilize. So, it's pretty good. Now, let's see here. Beyond that, pretty self-explanatory. So you can see these 3 skills, why I have them. Mending, I really like this one. It's the lowest cooldown, and it removes conditions. Both of those are really, really handy. It's really useful. I like this heal the best by far. And the last thing I have is Signet of Rage, and really, I'm not that impressed by any of the Warriors' ultimates, to be honest, but Battle Standard, it's too slow, and you have to be in the area, and Rampage switches my skills, so I can't even use my combos. So I don't really like either one of those that much for this warrior. So, Signet of Rage is what you go with, and it's not bad. Gives you 5 stacks of might, gives you 20% crit with Fury, It's not bad. Let's see here. So those are kind of my traits, and so those are my weapon sets and how I'd like to use them. I generally don't use Arcing Slice. I try to switch over and hit my kill shot, but, sometimes I'll Arcing Slice too. Okay, so let's go into a little bit what I'm going to put on my items, what items I'm getting. So I'm focusing mostly on crit damage and crit chance. The reason for this is I want to burst people down. I don't want them having time to heal. I don't want them having time to do anything. I want them dead, out of the fight, moving on. And so if you look, I've got 53 crit chance and 84 crit damage. So I don't know if you've done too much research, but it's 100. Okay, so the way it works with crits is this. You got a normal hit is 1.0. A crit is 1.5 plus crit damage. So with the crit damage I have now, I'm going to do 2.34 times my normal damage if I crit, which is 53% of the time, so I'm going to crit quite a bit. So it's pretty good. Armor, how survivable you are, and health, obviously, that was kind of obvious. Attack, skills 1-to-1 with power, and then, of course, weapon damage. Nothing too crazy. So precision is the crit chance, as well as hit chance, I guess. So I have a ton of precision. I've got 1,020, and I've got just as much power, 1,038, and actually that's because of a limitation on items, which I'll explain in a bit. I've got 200 to toughness, a little bit, and I have 0 to vitality, make sacrifices. Now, so what I'm building, what I've got here with my PvP items, I'm going Superior Rune of the Eagle, +6. And the goal here is just do a lot of damage. Once again, it's about crit. It's about doing more damage. So here I have plus like 13% crit damage with heroes under 50% health. So the goal, pretty straightforward goal here. Beat the crap out of people until they die. My sigils for both, it's plus to crit chance. Sigil is superior accuracy. Once again, I want a crit. So this is a crit burst build. Now, the interesting ones, so, we got that. Now, going over to here, I actually ended up getting Amulet, PvP, PAL, whatever, some long name. And I don't really want this one the most, but it's kind of like the only one I could get that was really good for me. There was one that actually had like 813 precision, but it had a stat I couldn't use, so I couldn't use that. So this was the best one I could get for my build. And of course the upgrade slots for every one of these are 25 power, 3 crit damage, 15 precision, because that's the best I can get. So that's my build. And it's really focused on crit, high damage, burst, don't let them heal. And so let's go on to skills and traits. No, not skills and traits. Traits, yes. Okay, so what I'm doing for traits. With the strength trait, I've got physical recharges are reduced by 20%. Now, the reason I have this is because, like, one of the main things I need for my combo is Bull's Charge. If it's not up, I can't do it very well. It's a lot harder to do. So I want it to be up as much as possible so I can be killing as much as possible. So that's why I've got that. And, the extra damage from a dodge is never bad, and it adds a little bit to what I'm doing. And so we've got 20 in arms, precise strikes, you got your things. But really what we're focused on are the two major traits. So gain might on crit hit with the greatsword. I'm doing a ton of crits, especially with 100 blades. So I might crit like 5 or 6 times, which means I just got like 5 or 6 stacks of might when I do that, which means it's like, I think 35 might times 5. 175, 210 power, just passively. That's extremely good. So that's why I have that. This one, Frenzy for 6 seconds. I actually debated this one. There's quite a few that I like. Let's see here. So like gain failure when you immobilize a target. If I use Bolas, that could be good. Precision if I use Sigils, but not really. Yeah, so, and then there's vulnerability on crit hits. Vulnerability only gives 30 armor reduction, as you can see here. Minus 30 defense. I mean, that's nothing. Like, if you look at my build, I've got freaking 1230 defense. Like, 30 defense, really? Why is that even a skill? Like, why do I even care about vulnerability? So, that's why I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And there's really nothing else. So, you know, I actually really like the Frenzy. It's pretty good. It's not great. Well, it's good. It's good. It's good for like finishing people off because I get to go Frenzy, and then when I do my my kill, you know, the kill thing when they're on the ground, it goes twice as fast. So that's good. Defense, 10 in defense is very, very important. I can't stress this enough. If there's anything you need to keep in this build, you want 10 in defense. And the reason is endure pain at 25% health. Because you go in there, you do your stun, you start your combo, you're getting beat on by 20 people, you're not going to die for 5 seconds. Almost certainly, unless conditions kill you. But this is a really important skill for you as a burst build. This is kind of like a buffer so that you can do the damage you need to do as your hero. So yeah, that's important. And then I have 30 in discipline. 2 reasons. First, I like the crit damage increase, but more importantly, I like the skills. So here I've got 9% crit hit chance when I've got 3 stages of adrenaline, which I have relatively often. Since I've actually got increased adrenaline, I think. Maybe I don't. But Arcing Slice, don't use it too much because I like using the other one, but so that's not bad. And then run faster with melee weapons. I think that's important. You want to stay on your target. And then movement, skills, break, and mobilize. So this is where Whirlwind Attack is really good. Like, it's a mediocre ability in general, but at least you can use it to break and mobilize, which is an extremely scary skill for this warrior. So that's kind of what my thought process is. You know, there are obviously other choices, like, you know, there are a few things here that you could use, like great sword and spear damage is increased, for instance. Let's see here. Not too much here, really. So, you know, that's kind of, that's my thought process. That's why I'm doing this build. Now, why not use other weapons? Why not double axes? Well, as far as damage is concerned, double axes is crazy damage. It does a lot of damage. But one of the issues I run into is staying on my target. Like, if I'm in the middle of a melee and there's lots of fighting going on, no one's running around, axes are great. But that's not reality. I'm trying to kill one target. Generally speaking, when I switch to axes, they're low, which means they're running away. I'm not going to kill them very easily with axes. So as much as I like axes, you know, as a secondary weapon, they're not that good. As a main weapon, they're good if you can get to the target, but you don't have mobility. So, you know, as I was saying with my greatsword, where, you know, I've got 2 mobility skills to get to my target. I don't have that with axes. And so, you know, axes are really high damage. If you've got someone supporting you, they've got a lot of CC, I could see them being really good, but otherwise not so much. Now, as far as swords are concerned, I actually kind of like swords, but the damage is very lacking. You know, once again, it comes down to I want to finish off my target. I've got him down to 30% health. He's running. He's dying. How do I kill him? The best way to kill him is with a rifle. And that's really what it comes down to. That's why I use rifle as my offhand. On top of that, there are other reasons to use rifle. Like one of them, if you're trying to defend a point and you don't want to leave it, but you still want to be effective, you can shoot them long distance with your rifle. If you're low HP, you can't get into the fight, Shoot them long distance with your rifle. I mean, rifle is very, very useful. It gives you a lot more utility. It's a handy ability, and of course, doing 8k damage with a kill shot is always nice, plus the rifle butt to kick people away. So that's kind of the thought process behind the rifle, and that's why I've got it as my secondary weapon. Let's see. Beyond that, hammer, once again, I'm not stunning people. I'm here to kill people. Longbow, not as much damage as the rifle. It's not terrible, but the only thing I think might be good would be like this immobilize with pin down. Immobilize them, get back in with my sword. Maybe good. I could see that being okay. But by the time I get there, 1.5 seconds are gone, and the damage is low. What else? Let's see here. Maces. Maces are surprisingly good. Damage is decent. Stuns are decent. I actually think they're overall pretty decent. Yeah, actually they're pretty decent. Like as a secondary to the greatsword, I think it's solid. Like if you look, 415, 519, 519, 415. I mean, the damage is pretty good. So a mace is a viable alternative to possibly rifle. But once again, you lose other utility with the rifle. Offhand, Warhorn, no. Yes, it gives you mobility. You've got good mobility with greatsword. It doesn't do any damage, Shield, yeah, that's kind of a no-brainer there. I'm not a tank. I'm a burst DPS warrior. So, that's kind of the thought process behind my skills. Trying to think if there was anything else. I think that is it. Oh, we can look at the slot skills, actually. So, I mean, looking at them, this one stops people away. This one kicks people away. You don't want those. You want to be close. All of these things are okay, the signets, and the only one I think is actually worthwhile is maybe the Dolyak, but once again, the passive is reduced damage. I don't know. Not that useful for me. Now, for Great Justice, this is something I've seen other warriors running. This is a good skill. I guess Frenzy or for Great Justice. I actually prefer Frenzy because you get quickness, and Great Justice you do not. And if you got both for Great Justice and Frenzy, then you'd need to drop like Balance Stance, which hurts you in other ways. So, it's decent, but no. No, not Shake It Off. I don't like this. I've tried it. It's not good. No. Banners, none of them are that useful. Berserk, nope. So Endure Pain, we get it at 25%. Yeah, so, I mean, that's it. There's not too much else here. That's kind of what you want to pick, and that's kind of what you need. I mean, the only one you can really change is this Balance Stance, so you've got some mobility there. I just think Mending's the best choice here, and same thing, Signet of Rage. So yeah, that's pretty much it with my tutorial. If you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and play a few games. I'm getting close to 15k glory. When I get there, I am going to be getting my tier 2 weapons, so I'm excited about that. And as you can see, so I'm moving a little faster now. Always good to be on Greatsword in general because oh man, there's only 2 people in here. It's always good to be on Greatsword in general because you're gonna want to open with it anyways. You could open with rifle too. I don't like doing it as much. Let's see here. Alright, I'm going to get to PvP. Not much to do here, but that's fine. Let's go to the windmill since it's the only place that has stuff going on. Oh, alright. He's an Necro. Oh yeah, let's go over like what's good for killing here with this build. You don't really like tanky heroes with this build. And there it is. Alright, I literally just one-shot that person. Note the frenzy. That's what let me kill him so fast at the end there when he was down. Yeah, so that's my build right there. Pretty much ideal situation there. You couldn't have had much better. Um, it's really strong. It can definitely one-shot people. Now, if you haven't been introduced to PvP, this is the structured PvP. Crap. So this is structured PvP. It can be up to 8 versus 8, I think, right now. And though 8 versus 8 can get a little hectic, and it can be a pain in the butt, especially for me. So many knockbacks and stuns. But yeah, so up to 8 versus 8. The official SPVP is going to be 5v5. And there I go with my... Whoop. Ah. Alright, I slowed him. And now I'm going to finish him. Oh, no, don't... Oh, yes. And there you have it. That is how you use the rifle. They didn't die all the way, and you want to finish them off. Let's see here. Whoop. Let's go over here. So yeah, Kira's, I don't know. I mean, it really depends on the build. It's so hard to say what you're going to beat and what you're not going to beat. Yeah, I can't even say it. You know, you just got to play against people and try to win, but there's no guarantees. So here, he's already dead. I'm just finishing him off. Oh, that's another thing that's weird. Like, whirlwind attack actually gets slowed when you are slowed, so it doesn't go very far. It's kind of irritating. Let's see here. I am at 1454. So what I'm trying to do right now, I just want to get 1500. What's going on in here? Oh, whoops, I was on rifle there. Anyways, so yeah, that's the warrior right there. Not too much else to it. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. This is kind of perfect, getting to show you exactly how it works with my combos. Okay, well, I'm signing off, and